Hi everyone, and welcome to my live creative time today. My name is Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Welcome, welcome. It is great to be here. I'm coming live at a different time today. Usually I go live on Thursday mornings at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, but it's the afternoon, so I changed the time up today. Many of you who are here in Australia may think it's because that we have a public holiday today, but that is actually not the reason. The reason is that I didn't get much sleep last night, so I just couldn't get up this morning and needed to go back to bed because I'd only had 3 hours sleep. So I can't function on 3 hours. I'm sorry. So I had to, I had to go back to bed until I could get enough sleep to be able to function. So here I am. So thank you so much for bearing with me. A lot of people that are here in Australia today might be out and about anyway, doing things, doing special things or having family time because we do have a public holiday today. So we'll see who jumps on. I'm going to bring this up on my other devices while everybody is finding me live so that I can see everybody's comments. So if you bear with me for one moment and I'll just bring this up. And as you're jumping on, feel free to say hi. Let me know that you're here and we can chat and craft together. Or you can craft along with me, or if you would like to just sit back and relax and watch what I have for you today, then feel free just to do that. So I hope you've got your cuppa ready or your beverage of choice and just have a nice relaxing time. So we have actually just got a storm rolling in, so I'm fingers crossed hoping that the internet will play nice, because you never quite know when storms are coming. And I have to keep an eye on my devices because I don't have anything plugged in at the moment. We had a lot of thunder and lightning, so I was a bit hesitant to plug anything in because I don't want anything, blowing up or anything. So I had to keep an eye on my battery. I might plug in part way through, but it sounds like it might be passing. Fingers crossed. We'll see how we go. All right, so hey Glenda, how are you? Great to have you here with us today. Glad that you found me. I know it's a different time today, but all good. We still made it. And then I was about to go live and I started having a sneezing fit and I thought, oh no, bad timing. And then the storm was rolling in. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to jump on, give it a go and see how we go today. But yeah, I've got a really cute project for you today. So I hope you enjoy what I have got to bring to you today. So we have got, for those of you who may not already know, but most of you probably already do, we've got a brand new mini catalogue at the moment that just launched on the 5th of January. So I guess it's not brand new now because we are nearly at the end of January. So, but yes, lots and lots of beautiful products in here. If you don't already have one of these, let me know. I'd love to get one out to you. But also too, we've got Stampin' Up! Has the Sale-A-Bration promotion running at the moment too. And we're going to be playing with one of the products from here. During Sale-A-Bration, with every $90, that's Australian dollars, here, with every $90 purchased here in Australia, you can choose a free item from the Sale-A-Bration brochure. So in the different markets across the globe, it'll be a different amount depending on your currency. Here in Australia, so the promotion is running all throughout Stampin' Up, all throughout the world. Here in Australia, it is free item with $90 Australian dollars. And also for multiples of $90, you can choose a free product. So it's not just one. So every multiple of $90, you get to choose another product for free, which is super awesome. And we're going to be playing with one of those today. Hey, Anne, how are you? Lovely to have you with us today. So not only that, but there is a fantastic joining offer at the moment too during Sale-A-Bration. So Sale-A-Bration runs until the 28th of February. And if you love Stampin' Up products, or perhaps you've just discovered Stampin' Up and you're just starting to get into paper crafting and you probably want lots of things, lots of supplies, then it's a great time to join Stampin' Up at the moment too. It doesn't mean that you need to demonstrate product or anything like that. You can just join just to enjoy the discount for yourself. If you want to share it with your family and friends or others, then that is great too. But if not, you can just purchase the products for yourself, so that's totally okay as well. So at the moment, the special is you only pay $169, but you get to choose $315 worth of product, and you get free shipping on that starter kit purchase as well. So you get to choose the products that you want to put in there, up to $315 worth of product, and you're only going to pay $169. So that is super awesome. And then if you're joining with me, you'll be joining my wonderful crafting community of beautiful, beautiful people. We have such a lovely group, and we have a lot of fun together, and we creatively inspire each other. We gather together every month via Zoom, and recently we just had an in-person lunch together at a restaurant, so that was really lovely. So we do things like that as well from time to time, and there's just so many other additional perks. Of course, you get all the Stampin' Up benefits as well, then early catalogs, early product, you get access to a global Facebook community of demonstrators where you get lots and lots of creative inspiration. We have a demonstrator only website where we get updated with lots and lots of things that are happening, lots of support, lots of resources, and so much more. But it's a wonderful community to be a part of. So if you would like more information about joining my creative community, then please let me know. I would love to give you information about that. And take the opportunity at the moment of joining during Sale-A-Bration to get that additional free product. So it's the best deal in the catalog. All right. So we as I said, I'm coming to you at a different time today. So I'm here in the afternoon rather than in the morning on a Thursday. But you hopefully will still enjoy what I have, and whoever can't catch me live, hopefully you'll catch me on the replay, or perhaps catch me over on my YouTube channel later on. So thank you everyone who is here, whether or not you're here live or watching later on. Thank you so much. Feel free to comment, ask me any questions. If there's anything I can help you with, please feel free to either pop them in the comments today or send me a message later on. You'll find all of my links for this video in the video description once I finish filming, and when I put it over onto YouTube, it'll be there as well. All the measurements today will be on my blog tomorrow, so you'll be able to get all of those over there, and I will post a reminder that that's where you can go with a picture of the project that we're making today. And what was the other thing I was going to mention? There was something else. Oh, also in my bio, you'll find all of my links also there. So if you're looking for them, you can go there to my bio. Okay, so I found out today that Stampin' Up has released a new kit, which is super awesome. Now, I believe that it released apparently 2 days ago, but I only saw the notification today. But it is available right now, and I've just got a little picture here, so you might want to go to my online store to have a look at it. It's called the Love Treats Kit, and it makes 20 little gift boxes for treats that you can pop in those gift boxes. Great coming up to Valentine's Day as well, if you like to give Valentine's gifts, or even just gifts to let people know that you're thinking of them, or if you're going for a visit to somebody's house, you can take a little gift with a couple of little chockies or something in there, or some sweets of some sort. So yeah, it makes 20 gift boxes. I believe that you can make them in under an hour. It has a stamp set included and an ink spot in the kit. It has all of the boxes and the little heart embellishments, the stamp set, die cut stickers, and the coordinating colors are petal pink and soft succulent, so they're really, really pretty. And it's a $37 Australian dollars kit. So these are really, really cute little gift boxes. So they will make really lovely little gifts. So if you would like to have a look at that one, feel free to go over to my online store. In fact, let me pop a link up in the chat here so that you can have a look. You might want to watch this video first and then go over and have a look later, so that you don't miss out on anything that I'm sharing with you today. But I will put my link in the comments, and then my links will also be in the details, or the description, I should say, of the video as well. So there's my online store in the comments. Also too, I'll pop the join link there too. If you wanted to have a look at the join offer, if you're not already a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you're interested in joining with me, I'll pop my link there too so that you can have a look at that. Oh, hang on, I've gone to the wrong spot. I'll have to go back here to grab my link. There it is. I thought I had this link over on my other screen, but I don't seem to have it. There it is. I'll have to add that one over to my other link screen. Got all these different screens everywhere, so I'll pop that in there too. There we go. Alrighty, so there's a couple of links for you. Hey Chitska, how are you? Great to have you with us today. How much is the kit, Glenda? It is $37. So $37, and it makes 20 little gift boxes. The dimensions of the gift boxes, let me see, are they here? Yes, they are 7.6 centimeters by 5.08 by 2.3. So 2.3 would be the height. Yeah, so 7.6 by 5.08. So they're just a small little gift box. So yeah, so if you have a look on your ruler, but just enough to fit a couple of little chocolates in, or some other yummies, perhaps a small cookie or something like that. I haven't seen them in person. I've just seen that the kit is available today. I've just seen that, so, but they look really pretty. Hey Carol, how are you? Lovely to have you with us. Thanks for joining us today. Alrighty. Now, if you wanted catalogs as well, I'll pop that link in there as well. So if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you're working with and you're here in Australia and you would like these catalogs, I would love to send them out to you. So I do have a request form for that, so you can fill that in just with your details. So I've got your details to send that out to you, and I'll pop that also in the comments right now for you. So you've got it right there. Close, handy. There we go. Alrighty. So I think that's all for my links. Oh, the other one was my newsletter subscription. That's the other one. If you're not yet subscribed to my newsletter and you would like to stay up to date with both my news, I put creative inspiration in there, and also Stampin' Up! News, my classes, anything that's happening with my classes, and lots of other things. If you'd like to stay up to date with all of that, then feel free to subscribe to my weekly newsletter. And for those that subscribe to my weekly newsletter, there is an exclusive tutorial that you will receive when you sign up for my newsletter. And that is only for those who sign up for my newsletter. So I will pop that link in there too. So you may as well pop all the links in there now, because otherwise I'll forget to do it later if I don't do it now. So I'll pop that one in there too. And there you go. You've got lots of links to check out later on. All right. So I think we might get started. So yeah, so new kit. So that's super exciting. New mini catalog, Sale-A-Bration, great time to shop, great time to join. Lots and lots of freebies on offer until the 28th of February. So be sure to check that out. Now, also too, I didn't mention there is another offer with the join offer. I went off on a tangent, didn't I? With the join offer, we have the offer that I mentioned about paying $169 for the starter kit and filling it with $315 worth of product of your own choice and getting free shipping. But also there's another 2 options. So the other 2 options include a mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to be using my white mini today. So you have the choice of either the white or the new boho blue, which is in the brochure. So there's the boho blue. It's really, really pretty. In fact, I think the color of it, from the photos I've seen from friends, the color in the brochure is a little bit washed out. It's a little bit more vibrant blue than that, but it's really pretty. But you can include that in your starter kit as well as the $315 worth of product and only pay $210. So this little machine on its own is worth $110. So you get that plus $315 worth of product and free shipping and only pay $210. But if you don't want a machine, then you can just choose the option that doesn't have the machine and just get the product. So totally up to you. But these are a great little machine. We're going to use that today. So I'll talk more about that as we craft today. So yeah, so they're the options. So if you have a brochure, it's on page 18, and there's another page, another image of it there on page 19. If you want to have a closer look of that join offer and also what the mini machine, the boho blue mini machine looks like. So you can check that out there as well. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. As I always say, there's never a silly question because we've all been there right back at the start and had all those questions as well. So you won't be the first one to ask them, let me just tell you. So it's all good. I'm happy to answer any questions. All right. Well, we might get started. And yeah, I hope that you really enjoy the project that I have for you today. So what I will do is I'm just going to cover up the camera while I tip that down to the desktop, just so that I don't make you dizzy, because there's lots of adjustment I need to make. So bear with me. Here we go. Okay, why did that not cover? What's happening? Oh, there we go. I didn't have it in the right spot. Had it up a little bit too high. There we go. Okay. So I'll flip those cameras and we'll tilt that down onto the desktop. Tighten everything up nice and tight, and I'll bring that down nice and close for you. Straighten it up. And there we go. All right. So I'm excited to share with you the project that I have for you today. It's a super cute one. And let's just see, have we got that straight? That's not too bad actually today. I think I got that fairly straight first time today, which is amazing. And I might just plug in my phone now that the thunder and lightning has stopped. It's settled down. Sounds like this storm might have moved away. I'll plug that in just so that I don't lose you as we're filming. So, Sale-A-Bration brochure. This is what we're looking at today. There are lots and lots of products that you can choose in here for free with a $90 order. And there's also level 2 items as well that you can choose with a $180 order. So I'll show you just quickly some of those. I won't go through them in detail because I've done that on other videos. So feel free to go back and watch any of my previous videos. We're going to be playing with the adorable owls today. So today is the first time I'm playing with this live on camera. So we're going to be making a really cute card with those. These have been very, very popular, these cute little owls. They are, as the name says, adorable. We've got the Thanks a Bunch. I played with that last week and made a really cute carrot card, a little thank you card with those. They were super cute to play with. That's a 2-step stamp set, actually. And there's lots of elements in that one, so that one's great value. There's the beautiful Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper. I've played with that one before on my videos as well. Super pretty. Day at the Farm 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. I have not played with this one yet, so I'm looking forward to pulling that out soon and having a play with that because I have that in my stash. Sending Support stamp set. This one is also a free option and it's got lots of beautiful sentiments in there for your greetings. We've got the Favored Flowers 12 by 12 designer series paper, another one I haven't yet played with, but I have it. So we'll have to have a play with that one soon too. That's absolutely gorgeous paper. If you love florals, you'll love that paper. It's really, really pretty. The In the Country stamp set, that one I did play with also on a video a few weeks ago, so you might have seen that video. And this one, Beautifully Happy, I have this one as well, but I haven't played with this one yet, so this one will be coming up soon on a Facebook Live. This one is free with a $180 order. It's a 2-step stamp set, and it's a higher value one, but you can choose that for free with $180 order. And then we've got the big bumper pack of Dandy Design 12 by 12 designer series paper. This one's got 48 sheets of 12 double-sided designs. It is 12 by 12 inches. But it's a bigger pack of papers, and you can choose that one for free with a $180 order. So that's another option. And then there is a host stamp set as well, which I don't have this one just yet, but I hopefully will be getting that one soon. And that one you can earn for free when you host a party with qualifying sales. So that would be if you're gathering sales from yourself and your friends, then you can choose that stamp set with the qualifying party. It's really, really beautiful, very detailed. It's called Scenic Garden, and yeah, really beautiful. And then we've got the join offer there, which I talked about before. But let's have a look at the adorable owls, because that's what we are here for today. So here they are. As the name says, they are adorable. They are super, super cute. You've got 3 little owls there. You've got a little owl with a party hat, and these 2 little cuties down here, which we're going to be using today. Some really fun sentiments as well. Now, this one is a red rubber cling stamp set, so you can see them there. In fact, I need to grab my blocks out. I haven't put my stamps on my blocks. I just realized that. So I will grab my blocks out. I'll need those 2, and I need a smaller one for my sentiment. There we go. So we'll take those out now, and we'll put them on our blocks. So what I like to do is, when you get the stamps, you get a sheet of stickers to apply the stamps. I do have a video over on my YouTube channel of an easy way to apply the stickers. There is the standard way you can do it, which works. But I have an easier way of doing it. So check on my YouTube channel, you'll find it over there. But when you put your stickers on, I like to de-stickify, as I say, one corner of my sticker. So it makes it easier to lift it up, because these stickers are really, really sticky. And it makes it easier to lift it up. So I just dab a corner on my shirt, and I always do the same corner on every stamp, so I know which one it is. I always do the bottom right-hand corner. You can do wherever you like. Dab it on your shirt or on your jeans, and it just takes a little bit of that sticky off, so that when you pop it on your block, so it's ready to go now. It'll stick nice and tightly to your block, but you've just got that one little corner that lifts up more easily and breaks that seal to help to remove those back off your block. Okay, so it's just a little tip for you. So we want that one and this one. There we go. So pop that one up there. Oh, is that the one we wanted? Hang on, let me double check. I think it is. Yes, that's the one, Flying in the Sky. That's right. And then our little sentiment, which says, Hoot Hoot, you're so cute. But any of these sentiments would work actually for this card. There we go. Alrighty. So that's the stamp set. Now we're using a couple of other products as well. We are going to be using, we're actually using the Cloud Punch for the sentiment. So that'll be lovely. It's going to be in the sky. We are creating a scene card. Oh, I didn't show you the card yet, did I? So let me show you the card first, and then I'll show you the other products that we're using as well. There we go. So there is the cute little card that we're going to be creating today with these adorable owls. Isn't that just so cute? So beautiful. We've got some an embossing folder in the background, the cloud embossing folder. So I'll show you that. We're using a different stamp set and die bundle as well for the tree. And then we've got the cloud stamp there. Sorry, not stamp, the cloud punch as well. So let me show you. So with the tree, we're going to be using the Perched in a Tree stamp set with the aspen tree dies, and that will create the tree. Okay, so this is one I haven't played with too much yet. Actually, I love this stamp set. It was in our last mini catalogue and it has carried over, but it's really, really beautiful. I love it. My daughter has played with this one a little bit, but I haven't yet until this card. So yeah, so it's the first project I've really used it on. We've also got the In the Clouds embossing folder. This one is beautiful. It's got really fine detail in the embossing. I'll take it out of the packet and show you. So it's a little bit hard to see. You might see it better on the cardstock, but it's got really fine detail of those clouds. Actually, if I put the cardstock behind it, you might see it a bit better. Oh, it's a bit hard to see with the green, actually. Anyway, you'll see it. I've also added some ink to that as well, just to make those clouds really pop. So you can see that in the background. So it looks really good. I'm going to do them a little bit differently this time too. I think I added a little bit too much ink here. I want a little bit more white space around those clouds, or inside those clouds. So I'm going to do that background a little bit differently this time. But anyway, yeah, so they're the products that we're going to be playing with. And then, of course, we've got our inks, our Stampin' blends, and our bling. So how about we jump on in and we get started. Feel free to chat with me, chat with each other, and yeah, craft along with me, or just sit back and relax. All right, so I'm going to pop my card just over there out of the way, and I'll bring in all of the pieces. So I've got all the pieces cut here ready to go. As I said, all of these measurements will be on my blog, so you'll be able to get them from my blog. And yeah, so I'll just show you quickly how to put it together. So we're using a base of Granny Apple Green, and this just makes a really beautiful bright coloured background, so a bit of interest. Then we've got a layer of Early Espresso. The white with the clouds, I already embossed that ahead of time, so that, oops, so you've got two sides you can use this actually. So you've got the debossed side, which is the side that we're going to be using, or you've got the embossed side, which has the raised image. So you can use either side that you like. We're using the debossed, where the image is actually impressed into the cardstock. So a little bit hard to see on camera, but you'll see it better when I ink that up. And then we've just got basic white cardstock for all of our elements. So that's the only cardstock that you need. So super easy. So we're going to start with our stamping first, so that our ink can have time to dry. Okay, so we'll start off with our owls. Now I'm going to bring in a little bit of grid paper just to protect my surface. And we are stamping today in, we've just got 3 colours of ink. We're stamping in Early Espresso, and we're creating the background with Balmy Blue and Tahitian Tide. So they're the only 3 that we're using today. Oh, thanks, Glenda. I'm glad you like it. Hey, Laurie, how you going? Great to have you with us today. I just saw that you had jumped on. Great to have you. Yeah, so we're going to do our stamping first, just in Early Espresso, and then we'll colour in our images with some Stampin' blends. All right, so I'm going to just stamp my little owls first. And the owls don't have dies that come with them because they are a Sale-A-Bration item. So we are going to be doing a little bit of fussy cutting today. There we go. All right, so there's our cute little owls. We'll pop those aside, let that ink dry. And I'm going to give these 2 stamps a clean so that they don't get stained with that ink. So we'll do that straight away. Oh, it still had a bit of ink on it. There we go. So this is my latest technique with cleaning my stamps, is I use the yucky side of my chamois first. That's the stained side. So I use that first to get the majority of the ink off, and then I use the clean side to get that last bit and just to check that I got everything off. There we go. So they're nice and clean now. We'll pop those to the side. Okay. Now we'll stamp our sentiment, because that is from the same stamp set. So we've got Hoot Hoot, You're So Cute. And we're going to be punching that with the cloud punch. So let me just double check which way that's going to feed into the cloud punch to make sure make sure that I can fit that in there. So we'll do it over to that side a little bit. There we go. And we'll let that dry for a moment before we punch that with the the cloud punch. I was going to say the heart punch, the cloud punch. We'll clean that one. So what's everybody else been doing today? Share with me in the comments. You doing something special, or are you just chilling at home? As I said, it's a public holiday here in Australia today, so a lot of people aren't working today. My husband's actually at home today, but my son had to work because he works in retail, so he had to go to work. All right, so we're going to use that branch stamp from the Perched in a Tree stamp set. So we'll just get that one out as well. I forgot to put that one on a block. So I'll grab out my, let's see, does it fit on that one? I can't remember now. Yes, I might get the bigger one just to be sure. My big long block. This is an I block. So Stampin' Up has all different size blocks, which you can purchase in my online store, or you can purchase a Stamparatus, and that will take place of all of your blocks, because you just need the one stamp positioning tool, and you can use that for all of your any sized stamp. So the Stamparatus you'll also find in my online store. Look at that branch, isn't that beautiful? Yeah, you'll find that in my online store as well. And I really need to get mine out and use it more often and demonstrate it a little bit more too. I haven't had it out for a while, so I'll have to bring it out again soon and have a little play with it. But there's actually lots of other techniques that you can use the Stamparatus for as well. Not just straight stamping, but there's all different sorts of techniques. There's step stamping, and there's what do they call it? Hinge step stamping. That's right, hinge step stamping. And there's also other things that you can use it for too. Like when you have a punch that has multiple images on it, you can actually create a template and then use your Stamparatus to stamp multiples. So if you're making, multiples of the same image, all sorts of things like that. So there's lots of great ways of using it. But anyway, I'll have to get it out one day to show you. All right, so I'm going to use my cloud punch now to punch out my sentiment, because we're going to be doing a little bit of inking on that as well. So Hoot Hoot, You're So Cute. There we go. Okay, so with this one, we're going to be using a little bit, oops, everything's falling down over here. There we go. We're going to be just inking the edges with a little bit of that early espresso ink. Sorry, this one's a bit squeaky when I open it. It's a little bit stiff and squeaky. I've got a new sponge dauber for my early espresso because my other one was starting to perish. I have used that one a lot. And they do over time, especially when you're going around the edges of cardstock like this, because this is foam, and over time that's going to pull at the foam and damage them. So you just want to do it gently, but I don't replace my daubers very often because they last a really long time. But like anything, they will wear, especially if you're doing this around the edges. So I haven't put my new label on this one yet because I just pulled that out late last night. So I'll have to label it because I have a different dauber for each colour. There we go. So that just gives us a little bit of a border around our cloud sentiment. Okay, now while we are inking, I'll do the background. We'll give all of those other items a little bit more time to dry. For the background, just make sure I don't have brown ink on my fingers. For the background, I've embossed a piece of basic white cardstock, as I mentioned earlier, with the Into the Clouds embossing folder. So I ran that through. So this is a large embossing folder, so it needed to go through the large machine. This one's a bit wide for the mini machine. So I just popped my white piece of cardstock in there, made sure the clouds were going the correct way that I wanted them, ran that through my machine, and that's what you get. But it's a little bit hard to see the detail on it. So we're going to add a little bit of ink. Now I'm going to use one of my small blending brushes today. And we're going to use some Balmy Blue and then go over the top with some Tahitian Tide. Okay, so this time what I want to do is leave the actual cloud parts, because what I did with this one is I went over the whole thing with the Balmy Blue, and I used my large brush the first time I did it. So depending on the look that you're going for, but this time I want to leave some of those clouds a bit more white. So I'm going to use the small brush so that I can go around them much more easily. So I'm just going to check. I do have a little bit of colour on that brush. It looks like I've picked up colour from one of the other brushes because this was a new brush. All right, so we're just going to use a little bit of Balmy Blue. So when you're loading up the ink on your brush, on your blending brush, let me move over a little bit this way so you can see. Load it up on your brush, but then just dab it off on your cardstock a little bit first, just so that you don't have any heavy blobs of colour in any one particular spot. And when I start with my blending brush, I start off the paper and then bring the colour in. So you'll see I start doing circular motions off the paper and then come in. And then again, that stops you from getting any of those heavy blobs of colour where you don't want them. Oh, this is good with the small blending brush because I'm able to get in amongst those clouds. Whereas with the big one, you don't have as much control over the colour because the brush head is much bigger. So of course it's going to lay down more colour in the different areas. So this is working well. Does anybody else have the small blending brushes yet? Let me know in the comments. These are really great. Great for inking up small sections on your projects. The big blending brushes I love. I use them a lot. But these small ones are great for those more detailed areas. So get right in there. So can you see the detail starting to come out now in the clouds? You'll see it even a bit better when I put a little bit of Tahitian Tide over it as well, because the Balmy Blue is quite a light colour. Tahitian Tide is just that bit more vibrant of a blue, and so it just really adds a little bit of colour. So with my blending brushes, I just have a blending brush per sort of colour family. So I like have one for my light blues, one for my darker blues, one for my yellows, one for my oranges, one for my reds, one for my pinks, one for my browns, that sort of thing. So you don't need to have a blending brush per colour. You don't need to have one per colour. Just one per sort of colour family or similar colours. And then you can interchange the colours. So you can just clean them off a little bit onto some scrap paper just to take off any of the the darker colors, especially if you're going from dark to light, always make sure you either use a separate brush or take some of the darker color off the brush onto scrap paper first. I might just add a little bit here and there on some of those details in the clouds. In fact, we can probably not dab it off on those bits because we want a little bit of heavier color. But yeah, just leaving that little bit of white space as well in the clouds, because, you know, our clouds are sort of white and grey. You could even add a little bit of basic grey, or probably not basic grey, maybe smoky slate to this as well, to make, depending on what colour you want your clouds to be. I just wanted these to be light fluffy ones, so we don't want them to be too heavy. Let's add a little bit more detail to this one here too, along the edges there. There we go. So see how those clouds are really coming to life now with that colour on them. And the embossed detail will pick up that ink. There we go. You can see those clouds there now. So they look like nice fluffy clouds. So we'll add a little bit of the Tahitian tide as well over the main part, not over the detail inside the clouds. So this one's a bit brighter. So just dab that, load that up, dab that off, and we'll just add a little bit more of that here and there. Just for a little bit more depth of colour, but I'm not going over the entire thing. There we go. So we've just got that little bit more depth of colour. So it picks up the Tahitian tide very quickly because it's a deeper colour. I might just put a little bit more up there. There we go. So I think that's looking pretty good now. So I think I'm happy with that. So we'll stop there. There we go. All right. So, okay, so that's our background. So we're going to set that aside now. Now with the leaves, what I did with the leaves is I die cut the leaves. So we might do that step now. I'll bring in the aspen tree dies and we'll die cut our, oh, actually, I won't do that step yet because I haven't colored my branch yet. We'll do that in a minute. I'll color the branch first and then we can die cut the leaves and the branch at the same time. Okay, so Stampin' blends. We've got a variety of Stampin' blends today. So these are the Stampin' Up! Alcohol-based markers, and these blend your colors beautifully. These are all in the Stampin' Up! Colors, so they coordinate beautifully with your inks, your designer series papers, everything really of Stampin' Up! Is all coordinated, so that makes things really easy. So for the branch, we are going to color that in, let's see, where are we? The branch was the darkest brown, which I think is the smallest number. The smallest number is the darker color. I'll just double check. Where's the other one? Yes, because that's the 700. That's much lighter. Yeah. Okay. So the branch is just going to be colored in just a single color. So that's really easy. I'm just going to use the bullet tip. So in the markers, we have got a bullet tip and a brush tip, which is great. And the brush tip I like to use for larger sections. Oh, I need my glasses. I just remembered to put them on for my coloring so that I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, and if you've got more detailed sections, then the bullet tip is great. Both tips work well for blending, so you can use either. But yeah, it just depends on what you are actually colouring. All right, so then we'll just go over some of these bits along here as well. We'll go over them again just to give them a little bit of shadow on those details there. There we go. So that'll just give our branch a little bit of detail. Okay, so what we're going to do, oh, actually I might go back over the center part again. So it came out a little bit darker than I had wanted. There we go. Now if I go over those, they look better. There we go. So that's better now. Yeah, happier with that. So we're going to cut that off here at the, I'll bring that colour out here, but we will be trimming that off there at the end. Okay, so there's our branch. So now we can die cut that, and then we'll colour our owls because we're going to be fussy cutting our owls. So we're just going to be using the die cutting machine for the tree, or the tree branch, I should say. So here's our mini. It folds up nice and compact on your desk, so it is great. It's a great little space-saving die cutting machine. It comes with all the plates that you need to get started for die cutting and embossing. But we're going to be die cutting, so we want our number 1 base plate and a number 2 clear plate. You can see mine are well loved. so we'll pop one of those on the bottom. And let me pull out the dies. Did I grab them? Oh, yep, there we go. I did pull them out, and then I put things on top of them. So I'll pull those ones out. So we're going to use the branch here. Now this has got 2 sheets of dies in here actually, because it coordinates with that Perched in a Tree stamp set, and then you've got some additional dies in there as well. So this one is an additional die, like a background die. It cuts the background, and then we've got the additional leaves here as well, and then you've got the outline for the bird stamp, and this one here is for the leaves of the tree, which is what we're going to use. Okay. Oh. All right, so we will line this one up, and I'll put a little bit of washi tape on that. Let me grab, oh, actually I might just use a Post-it note. Just tear up a Post-it note and use a Post-it today because it's a little bit harder to reach my washi tape at the moment. So I'll line this up. Oh, there we go. There you go. So let's pop that on there, and we'll put that on our plate. And actually, am I going to fit my leaves? I'm not going to fit my leaves on at the same time. So I'll do this one first, and then we'll go back in and do the leaves. There we go. This is a really great portable machine as well that you can take with you. Whoops, let's move our inks out of the way. You can take with you when you're traveling, or if you're going to crops or classes, you can take this one with you because it folds up nice and compact, and it will fit in a bag. You just have to be careful with the handle, but yeah, it'll fit in a backpack or something like that. There we go. So there's our branch. So that's awesome. Put that to the side. And put our die back on the die sheet so that we don't lose that. And now we'll do the leaves. So the leaves, it's just, there's no, so we're not stamping the leaves, we're just die cutting the leaves, and then I'm going to colour them with my Stampin' blend, so I'll show you how to do that. So I'll just pop that down with this sticky note. So yeah, so this machine, this mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, is one that you can choose in your starter kit right now during Sale-A-Bration. So that's until the 28th of February 2023. And you can get this one or the exclusive Boho Blue mini machine. And the Boho Blue machine is only going to be available during Sale-A-Bration because it's a special exclusive offer. But yeah, you can choose either of those and $315 worth of product, and you're only going to pay a total of $210 for all of that. So it is a fantastic time to join with that great special. So if you would like more information, then please get in contact with me. I would love to answer any of your questions. And of course, we would love to welcome you to our crafting community. So we would love to have you join us. Come and join the fun, join for the discount, join for whatever reason you like, join to get the starter kit at the awesome price, and just come and have fun. All right, so we'll just clean that plate off of all of our little bits. There we go. Okie dokie. All right, so we'll pop those plates over to the side. We are finished with that now. And this is our leaves. Now you might think, well, they don't look much like leaves, Mandy. They just look like a white blobby mess. But what we're going to do is we're going to create leaves using our Granny Apple Green Stampin' Right, sorry, not Stampin' Right markers, blends, Stampin' blends, and we are going to create our own leaves. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the dark Granny Apple Green, and we are just going to go crazy with some little squiggles here and there. And you're going to think, oh my goodness, that looks like a hot mess. But wait until you see when it's finished. So we're just doing little squiggles everywhere. This is our dark color. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the light color over the top of those and blend them in a little bit. But what the squiggles will do is they will give us a little bit of detail and definition in those leaves. Okay, so we've got all those little squiggles happening everywhere. We'll take our light Granny Apple Green, and you might even want to use the brush tip for this. You can use the brush or you can use the bullet tip, and we're going to color over all of those. And as we do that, it's going to blend in those squiggles, but it's going to leave them there as a bit of detail, so it looks like that there is some darker and lighter leaves in there. Okay, so you just keep coloring all over. Now you might want to just die cut some, say, Pear Pizzazz or some Granny Apple Green, and you could add a little bit of Stampin' Blend to that as well. You could do that too, but I just thought this gave a really great effect. And most people have white cardstock or basic white cardstock, which is what I'm using today. So if you don't have the Granny Apple Green color, then this is another way that you can create those leaves using your white cardstock if you have the Stampin' Blends. So there we go. So now you can see the leaves are, oh, we've got a few little bits there that need a little bit more color. Just on those tips, I missed those tips. There we go. So now you can see you've got multicolored leaves. Doesn't that give a good effect? So there you go. So there's another way that you can create multicolored leaves. Now we'll pop those over to the side to dry, and we're going to bring in our owls now and color our owls. Now I've written myself a list of the colors that I use for the different parts of the owls. Excuse me. All right, so we are going to be using the light and the dark balmy blue for the eyes and the bow tie. So let's see. All right, I'm going to start with a little bit of the dark. Actually, I'm going to start with the light, and we'll do the eyes of the owls. So we don't, with the Stampin' Blends, when you're laying down the colours and you're doing colour on colour, it will cause the ink to bleed or like absorb more into the cardstock. So you don't want to go too heavy with your colours because they will blend quite quickly and they will also go out of the lines quite quickly. So you need to just be a little bit careful. You'll notice that as I'm changing colours, I'm capping my markers in between so that they don't dry out because they are an alcohol-based ink, so they will dry out very quickly. So there we go, just adding the two colours to the eyes. Actually, I'll start with the light again on this one. So just starting with the light. So you can do light, dark, light, or you can start with the dark and then blend that in a little bit with the light. It's up to you which way you do it. Different people do it different ways. My daughter, when she uses the blends, she does it in the opposite way to me. I usually start with the dark and then blend it in with the light. She tends to do it the other way around. So today I'm doing it a little bit differently. Just depends on what you prefer, but just have a play with them. They're really fun to play with, the Stampin' Blends, and they give a beautiful smooth finish. There we go. So that's the eyes. Now with the little bow tie, we're going to do the little bow tie here. So we might have the outside. This is the dark balmy blue. It's actually running out. So I'm going to have to replace this one soon. It's drying out quite a bit. So I think this one is on my shopping list for my next order. Just do a little bit of dark there. Normally this one is quite a bit darker, but because it's running out, we'll go over that and just blend that down nicely with the light. Yeah, so it's running out, my dark one at the moment. I think it's one that I've used a fair bit, obviously. There you go. Oh, hey Dimity, how are you? Just saw that you had jumped on. Great to have you here. So I'll just go over this side a little bit more with the light, just to make it a little bit darker. And the more layers you add, the darker it will become. So just be mindful of that too when you are colouring. All right, so that's the blue sections. So now we're going to do the brown. So I've got a few different browns here. I've got the, so let's see, we've got the SU400 and we've got the 700. And then I've got the dark crumb cake and the light crumb cake. So that's a crumb cake combo. So when you purchase the Stampin' Blends, they do come in a combo pack. You know what? I'm going to turn this paper over because that looks really messy. Put them there like that. There we go. They come in a combo pack so that you get 2 pens in each of the, or 2 markers, I should say, in each of the combo packs. And with the natural tone blends, they come in a 2-pack as well. So you'll get the 100 and 200 together, the 300 and 400 come together, then the 500 and 600, the 700 and 800. So you'll see in the catalogue, they come in tonal blends. So there'll be medium, medium light, medium dark, light, etc., etc. So yeah. But you can find those in the annual catalogue or in my online store. All right, so I'm just looking at my list. The lighter parts of the owl are the light and dark crumb cake. So we might do those parts first. So that's around the face. So we've got the dark crumb cake, which is going to be around the eyes. So we'll go, now wanting to be careful that that doesn't blend into the eyes, because we want the eyes to stay white, or the white parts of the eyes to stay white. So I'm being careful not to go too close to the, like over the line, because then when we bring in the light and blend that down, has the potential of making that lighter color, that darker color continue to move or to blend in. And we don't want that to bleed into the whites of the eyes. So I'm just kind of blending that out towards the outer section rather than having that blend towards the inner part of the eye, if that makes sense. I'm sort of trying to push the color. So see how I'm starting close to the eye and then blending that out towards the outer edge. That helps the color to move outwards rather than pushing it in towards the eye. There we go. And when you're blending colors, if you are blending two colors together, you want the color that you first laid down to still be moist. So you only want to work on a small section at a time, because otherwise, as you go to blend, if that first color you laid down has dried, it makes it much more difficult to blend it. You want that still to be moist so that you can, or wet, so that you can blend that out. So just using a circular motion to blend those colors. And you get a lovely smooth tone there. And just a little bit of shadowing around those eyes. And blend that down a little bit more. As I said, as you go over the colors, you will get more depth of color. So if you're sort of going over it in one section and you want it all to be the same, then you kind of have to blend the other areas out as well. There we go. Okay, so we've got that one's face done. Now we'll do the little tummy. So we want a little bit of dark just beneath the face so that it looks like there's a little bit of shadow underneath the chin there. You're going out for a barbecue soon, Dimity. That sounds lovely. Very nice. Actually, I should have asked my husband to do a barbecue tonight too. Why did I not think of that? Although we've got storms down here today, so it's probably not best conditions this evening for a barbecue. I don't actually know what we're going to have for dinner. Didn't even think about that. There we go. Okay. Alrighty, so now we'll do the other owl on the other side. And we're going to do the same again. So I'll just put a little bit of the dark around the eyes. I might do just one at a time this time, just so I can blend that in while that colour is still damp. Makes it easier to blend it in. There we go. So yeah, so just blending down those harsh edges, but so that you've still got that little bit of depth of colour around the owl's eye, because if you've ever seen an owl, then you know that their eyes are usually fairly deep set. Oh yeah, I have a story about owls I was going to tell you about today. So we live in, well, a built-up area, so of course we don't get to see owls very often. However, at our old house, I went out one night to the backyard. I think I was going to put something in the bin, or I can't remember what it was, but it was a long time ago now. And there was this big, beautiful grey owl sitting on the top of my washing line. I got such a shock because when I first walked out the back door, I didn't see it. And then I started walking down the steps to the path that led to the clothesline, and there was this big beautiful owl. And so I froze in my tracks because I didn't want to scare him or her. And oh, it was so beautiful. It was just sitting there, just quietly, just peacefully. Well, then when we moved here to this house, and it's the only time I've ever seen one, and we lived there for 20 years, and it was the only time I ever saw an owl in our backyard. And then when we came here, we've been here in this house now for nearly, well, it'll be 14 years in June. So I guess we're coming up for 14 years. We've been here a while. But anyway, yeah, one night I went out to the backyard, again, I think to go to the bins, and there was an owl sitting on our clothesline. Same type of owl, big grey owl, just sitting there very peacefully and quietly. And oh, it was beautiful. But he got a little bit of a fright when he saw me, and he took off pretty quick. Wasn't there for very long, but just so beautiful. But of course, you know, we get owls in here in Australia, of course, and probably all parts around the world in different colours. So these little ones are just brown owls, but there's all different types of owls. My daughters love white owls. So they've got a thing about white owls, and it's a sort of an in, I don't know that it's a joke, but it's an in thing between the two girls. They're often talking about white owls. But yeah, I've never seen a white owl in real life, I don't think. Unless I've seen one at the zoo. I can't remember now if I've seen one at the zoo. What about you all? Have you seen owls in the wild? I think I've seen them like when I was younger, out bushwalking and things like that at night time. But I don't tend to do that now as an adult. I don't go bushwalking, especially at night time. I can't walk the tracks these days, but yeah, definitely not at night time. All right, there we go. So there's our little owls. I might just add a little bit more blue to those eyes. I feel like they're not as deep as the first ones that I made. So I'm going to go over them with a little bit. I don't even know which blue I picked up now. Oh, yeah, it is the light. Just going to go over those eyes a little bit more, give them a bit more depth. There we go. All right, so there we have it. And now we've got to do the darker parts of the owl. So that's the light and the dark crumb cake. And now the darker parts of the owl, we're using the 400 and the 700. So when you're using the natural tone blends, the higher the number, the lighter the color. Okay, so it's a little bit tricky. You'd think it was the other way around, but no. The higher the number, the lighter the color. They currently go right up to, oh, is it 900 or 1,000? Let me check. What's the highest number? Oh, they do go up to 1,000, yeah. So the 1,000 is the lighter color, and then they go right down to 100. So we're going to color the head and the ears and their wings and their bodies. Oh, their feet. I forgot their feet. Hang on a minute. Let's go back. I need to do the light crumb cake for the feet. Forgot their little tootsies. Does anybody have any owl stories? Any stories of owls that you've encountered, either in the wild or in your backyard? Share with me in the comments. I've patted actually a tawny frogmouth at our local, we have a local little wildlife park, and we've been there a few times, and yeah, patted the cute little tawny frogmouth there. They're very used to people because of course they have people coming through all the time, and they're beautiful, beautiful little owls as well. All right, so now we'll do a little bit of color up here on the head. So we're going to do the ears in the dark, and I'm just going to do some dark along the top of the head there and the back of the ears. There we go. Then we'll blend that in. Dimity says, yes, wild in our backyard and everywhere. Ours is the powerful owl. Yours is the powerful owl. We don't have them. Love owls. So do my granddaughters. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so they're the powerful owls down here that we have. Oh, well, there you go. So this one is 700 that I'm using now. Powerful owl. So what types of owls do you have up there, Dimity? So Dimity's up in the Northern Territory, and she has lots of different wildlife up there and lots of beautiful birds. I'm interested to know what types of owls you have up there. There we go. So we've got the little head part there. And now I'll do a little bit of the dark down on the wings and the belly. So again, we'll do a little bit of dark under here, under the chin. And we'll do a little bit under the wings. And this one we'll do a little bit here on the wings, and then we'll blend those colors in. So I love the Stampin' Blends. They're so easy to work with. I really love coloring with them. I think they are my favorite coloring tool, apart from the inks themselves, of course. But I just find that you get a really nice finish with the Stampin' Blends. So just blend in those darker colors. Just smooth them out a little bit, but so that you've still got that little bit of shadowing there. Just turn that around. Actually, we might come down this way because we want to blend that deeper part there down a little bit, and then on the tips of his wings, blend that out too. There we go. Okay, great. I just might blend that a little bit more there. Good. Okay, that's great. All right, so that's that little, oh no, actually we've got to do the inside of the ears. So the inside of the ears need to be the light color. Forgot about the little ears. And the beak is the darker color, which is the 400. That's the one we used for the blending. There we go. While we're here, let's do the beak on the other little one as well. Just a very light touch with that one because it's a very small area to colour. There we go. All right, and now we'll do a little bit of blending on this one over here. So we'll do the ears along the top of the head there. I find it easier just to turn my cardstock as I'm colouring. So who else loves the Stampin' Blends? Have you tried them? Do you have success with them? All right, so the trick I think is not going too heavy, not going too close to the edge of the stamped line, and using a circular motion is the best way to blend those colors down. I actually have a tutorial on these if anybody is interested over on my blog. I have some technique tutorials that are available, and I have one on Stampin' Blends because I know that some people do happen to have a bit of a struggle with how to use their Stampin' Blends. Well, if you would like to know, I do have a tutorial for sale over there. You're welcome to have a look at that, and if you would like that tutorial, then you can email me and I would be happy to I would be happy for you to purchase that, and I can send it to you so that can help you in using your, and it's actually a video tutorial too, so you can watch the video and I show you how are the best ways to use them, and also to blending of different colors, how you can blend different colors to create a different color altogether and to achieve different effects, which is a lot of fun. So let me know if you struggle with using Stampin' Blends. I know a few people who have yeah, who've not had great success, but usually it's because they haven't been shown properly how to use them. And so, yeah, I'd be happy to help you with that. But yeah, just using a very light hand here to blend those out a little bit more. There we go. And if you do happen to go out of the lines and you're not happy with the effect, we do have the color lifter, and the color lifter you can use that to either lighten colors in your stamped images, or you can use it if you've had any boo-boos where you've gone out of the line, you can actually use that to push the color back inside the line. It actually moves the color. That's how it works. So there you go. So there's our cute little owls all colored. So they are ready to fussy cut. So fussy cutting is just basically cutting out the image. And the reason we call it fussy cutting is because it can be a little bit fussy. Because if you're cutting around the image, you know, it can be a little bit intricate sometimes. These ones aren't too bad, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by cutting them in half first. That one's still a bit wet, so I'll let the ink on that one dry, and we'll start with this one. And we're simply just going to cut around the image, leaving a little white border. So I'm using the paper snip scissors from Stampin' Up. These are a lovely fine tip scissor, and they make it really easy to cut your stamped images. If you're cutting fine details or you know, something like that, you need a pair of scissors that have got a fine tip that are nice and sharp. These ones last a really long time. I'm using mine practically every day, and I only really replace mine probably about every, I don't know, six or so months, 6 to 8 months. So they last a really long time, but again, depending on how you use them and how often you use them and what you're using them on. So I have one pair that I use solely just for cardstock and ribbon. And then I have another pair, which is usually one of my older pairs that are getting a little bit blunter, that I use for my adhesives, because of course they get sticky with using with adhesives. So I don't want to use my good ones with adhesives. The other thing you'll notice is when I'm fussy cutting is I'm keeping my scissor hand fairly still, just opening and closing that blade, but I'm turning the cardstock. That also makes it much easier to control where you are cutting by just turning the cardstock. So I'm right-handed, so I'm manipulating that cardstock with my left hand while I cut with my right hand. So there's a couple more little tips. I love giving little tips to help people with their crafting, make it easier, to make it a great experience for you, because I want you to enjoy it just as much as I do. I love my crafting, and I find it very calming, and I find it a great escape as well, just to get my head into being creative, and yeah, you can just block everything else out and just enjoy your creativity. So just trimming up a little bit around here. So there we go. So there's our first little owl. Aren't they just so cute? So you can see that didn't take too much time to cut that one out. Oh, Dimity said up there in the Northern Territory they have the tawny frogmouth, the barking owl, the barn owl, grass owls, rufous owls. That's all that she can think of at the moment. Yeah. Chitska agrees. She likes crafting and just the escape of crafting, and just, not having to think about anything else and just enjoy the creativity. And it's just, very calming, I find anyway. There we go. All right, so we'll just cut this little one out. These are just so cute, these little owls. It's a shame these ones don't have dies, actually. I think it would be really popular for these ones to have dies, because these little owls have been hugely popular. Now, just so that you know, with any of the Sale-A-Bration items, and as I mentioned before, the Adorable Owls stamp set that I've used today is a Sale-A-Bration item. They are available until the 28th of February with a qualifying order of $90, or at least $90 here in Australia. However, they are also while supplies last. So if they happen to sell out, you know what I did? I forgot to do his ears. I'll have to colour the insides of his ears. If they do happen to sell out before the end of Sale-A-Bration and the stock, and there's no more stock, or the stock can't be brought in time before the end of Sale-A-Bration, that's it. They're not going to be available anymore. So if you think, oh, I'll just wait until the end of February to get it, I would advise not waiting too long, because you might be disappointed. Some of the very popular Sale-A-Bration items often do sell out before the end of the promotion, because they just get snapped up so quickly because they're so popular. So just keep that in mind. If you do like this or any of the other Sale-A-Bration items, you might not want to wait too long, just in case you miss out, because then you'll be sad if it was something that you really wanted. So that is my advice for Sale-A-Bration. There we go. All right, so I need to add a little bit of colour to the inside of the ears, because I missed that. Oh, now, which colour did I have? The 700 was the lighter one, wasn't it? Yes, that one. I missed this little ones. I did the other owls in ears, or inside of the ears. I just forgot that one. There we go. So there's our two cute little owls. Now we are ready to put together our project. So there we go. All right, so let's bring in all of our pieces now. So there are a few different pieces. We didn't have much in terms of the base, but when you think about it, there are quite a few different elements to this card. All right, so we are going to just layer all of this up, making sure I've got my card opening the right way. Yep. Right, I'm going to use a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. And do you know what I just realized? Remember I said I was plugging in my phone? Well, I did plug it into the PowerPoint. Forgot to plug the other end into my actual phone. So we're all good now. We're plugged in. Oh, well, thankfully my battery was still holding out, so that was good. I did have it fully charged today, so lucky. You might have lost me part way through otherwise. There we go. So this card is opening this way, so it's a landscape orientation. And as I said before, all the measurements for this card will be up on my blog tomorrow. So you'll be able to get all of the measurements there. It just saves me time having to give you all of the measurements as I'm going through the card for the project, to just have them all up on my blog, and then you can go straight there and get them. So I will put a post up tomorrow when that's up on my blog, so that you can go there and grab those. So look out for that post on my Facebook page tomorrow, and you'll know that it's ready to go. All right, so then we've got our beautiful cloud background, and we've got a tiny little border of the early espresso around that, just to give that a bit of a lift. There we go. Don't those clouds look great with the colour on them? The blended colour on them just gives them so much more definition, doesn't it? Those clouds in the sky. All right, now all of our elements are being mounted up on dimensionals. But first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my tree branch, my leaves to my tree branch. So we want the leaves sort of going out more at a point, so it looks like it's you know, the actual leaves on a tree. That's how they kind of would be. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of these to adhere to, well, in fact, yeah. So I'm going to put some glue just here and there on, if I can get my glue to run again, there we go. So I'll add some glue around here just to adhere. I don't need too much. There we go. And then we'll adhere that to the end of our branch. And you will see a little bit of branch through the trees. But hey, in nature, that's what actually happens. You do see the tree branch through the leaves most of the time, unless it's a very dense, densely, what's the word? Foliaged, densely foliaged. There we go. Okay, so I might just add a little bit more glue just under this end piece here because that's just popping up a little bit more than I want it to. So we'll just stick that down there. There we go. All right, so all of this is going up onto some dimensionals now. So we're going to add our branch first. Now with the branch, I am going to just trim the end of it straight so that we have it straight against the border there. So I'm going to trim it at about there. So what I'll do is I'm just going to put a little pencil mark to make sure I get it straight how I want it. Whoops, straight how I want it. So it's going to go about there. So if we put a little pencil mark here and here, and I'm just going to snip that with my paper snips. So where I've got that little pencil mark there and there. There we go. And then that will be able to go straight down there. All right, so I've got gluey fingers. Let me just get that glue off my fingers. Okay. And we'll put some dimensionals. Now I'm going to use a combination today of mini Stampin' dimensionals and the standard size Stampin' dimensionals. I'm going to use minis for the tree because, of course, there's a smaller area to fit them. There we go. And then we'll use some large dimensionals on the owls. Or you can use minis as well if you want to. Save changing them over. But you'll use more minis than the large ones if you're going to do it that way, because you'll need to, because they're obviously smaller. So you need to use more. All right, so here we go. So here's our tree branch. We're going to pop that down about here. So we want that lining up against the edge of our card. Oh, I'll just take that up a little bit higher. I've got that a little bit low. Up just a little bit more. About there. About there. We need to leave room for our flying owl in the air. There we go, because we're going to have one little owl sitting on the branch and the other little owl is going to be flying. A little bit of glue on there. Roll that off. Roll that little bit of glue off. Okay. So this little guy is going to be sitting on the branch. How super cute. So we don't want to put the dimensionals too close to the bottom of him because he's going to be overhanging that branch a little bit. So if you want to, what you can do is you can sit it like that over your branch so you can see where he's going to sit, and then that will give you an indication of where you can pop your dimensionals. There we go. And so that his body doesn't lift up off the branch, I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of glue just along the bottom here. Oops, and on his foot, so that those parts will actually stick to the branch. Oh, as he sticks to my finger. And he's going to sit here on the branch. There we go. And then this little one's going to be flying up in the sky. Let's just cap that glue. So I think 3, oh, maybe 4. Maybe we'll add 4 to this one. 4 up here. Now we need to make sure that we've got room still for our sentiment. I haven't put the dimensionals on that one yet, but I'm just going to place that there so that I can see where that's going to be placed, so that I know where to position my little flying owl. So he's going to go up there like that, and then we'll pop our sentiment on. Again, using the large dimensionals. Remove those backings. And if you're not familiar with dimensionals, all they are is hexagon shaped mounting foam, which is double-sided. There we go, cute. So that just gives a real lift to the elements on our cards, just adds a little bit of interest, and as the name says, gives our project a little bit of dimension. All right, so we're going to bring in some rhinestone basic jewels to add a little bit of bling, because you know every card needs, well, usually ribbon and bling. This one doesn't have ribbon today. Can you believe it? I'm making a project without ribbon. Oh, how terrible. It's rare that I make a project without ribbon. But this one just has bling, but at least it's still got the bling, so all good. Well, I didn't think that we really needed to have ribbon on this one, because there's so much going on this card that I don't think that it really needed ribbon. And often with scene cards, they don't. They just are enough with all of the elements that you add to them, because there's lots of little bits and pieces, lots of little elements that are on the card that, yeah, sometimes you've got to know when not to overdo it, sort of thing as well. There we go. So there's our bling as well on our card. So there is our finished project. Isn't that just so adorable? So cute. Let's bring in our first one. That's the original. And that's the one we created today. So what do you think? Do you like that? So any of the products I've used today, you can find in my online store, and you'll find that at mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com. If you're shopping with me and your order is over $75, be sure to use my host code so that I can send you a thank you gift. Because anyone that uses my host code when they place an order over $75 will receive a thank you card, as all of my orders do, regardless of the amount of the order. But over $75, you'll also receive a thank you gift from me. Yeah, just as a way of showing my appreciation. So there you go. Oh, hi, Helen. I can't remember if I said hello to you before, Helen, or not. I'm not sure if I saw you jump on earlier. Perhaps I did and I forgot. I'm not sure. But thank you so much. I'm glad that you love my card. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Carol. I'm glad that you love it as well. So look out for these products. As I said, the Adorable Owls stamp set is a free product that you can choose with a $90 order. So if you are purchasing in my online store and you're placing an order of over $90, you can choose a free Sale-A-Bration item such as the Adorable Owls. Plus, you'll also get a thank you gift from me as well when you use the host code. So yeah, so you get double goodies. So isn't that fun? All right. Well, I am going to tip the camera back up so that I can say goodbye to you properly. So bear with me one moment. I'm just going to cover up the camera while I do that so that you don't all get dizzy. Let's make sure that I've got that covered up before I do my little flippity flip. There we go. Ah, you did jump on without saying anything, Helen. Okay, that's why I didn't see you. You snuck in the back door. Well, it's lovely to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. What did you say? You've been watching and helping prep dinner. Oh, awesome. That's a good thing about watching crafting videos, is you can watch them while you're doing other things as well. I often do that too. I'm often working and I have one playing in the background, or I'll be the same as you in the kitchen prepping dinner and I'll have one playing with my earphones in or something. So yeah, so it's a great thing about our crafting videos, and we can still enjoy creativity while we're doing other things as well. So there you go, there's our cute little owl card. I hope that you enjoyed that one. Super, super cute. And I think the clouds in the background just make such a great addition to that project with the embossing just that added texture. I love texture on my projects, in case you didn't already know. So thank you all so much for joining me today. Sorry that I was a little bit late today. As I said, I had a bad night with pain, and so I didn't sleep. Yeah. And when you're laying there awake for 3 hours trying to sleep, it's very frustrating. So I needed to get some extra sleep. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me, those of you that were able to join me this afternoon. And for everybody else, if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much for coming back and watching the replay, and on my YouTube channel as well. I'll be back again next Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, so be sure to watch out for that. Remember that all of the measurements for all of the elements of this card will be on my blog tomorrow. So that will be the 27th of, what are we, January? Oh my goodness, 2023. I won't guarantee a time that I will get the blog up there, because my blogs go up at different times of the day. But I will post in my Facebook group here, in my Facebook page here, when that's available anyway, so you'll know to look out for that. So I hope you really enjoyed that. I hope that it sparked some creativity in you, or some ideas in you. So happy crafting, everyone. Enjoy, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.